Hi, Griffin Thomas, AIDS Task Force of Greater Cleveland. As a young gay individual, how can I get my peers to be more involved in civic engagement and the democratic process if they're afraid because of the recent suicides that have happened as well as the homophobic behavior in our community?
There are so many organizations available. I mean, you know, starting with the National Black Justice Coalition, but even locally, you have to self-organize. I mean, there's a local HRC here in Equality, Ohio. Walk through the doors. Tell them you're here to work. Meet them where they're at, and then help them learn what you need. I mean, when you're dealing with young people, Trevor Project has been all over the radio for people that are in mental health challenges or emotional health challenges. But if you're ready to work and organize, there is no limit to the amount of open and affirming and welcoming, especially for young energy, young African-American LGBT students ready to join the cause of LGBT equality. And I'll be happy to talk to you at the end and connect you with some of those folks.
I'm Ashley Taylor from Early College High School. How do you talk to friends who are afraid of rejection? How do you get them to open up?
Say a little more when you say afraid of rejection.
Like rejection from their parents, and they come to you with their problems because they're afraid to tell them.
They're afraid to tell them that they're gay?
Yeah.
Okay. That is a personal journey. I'm very, very committed to connecting young people especially to the proper resources, whether it's PFLAG, whether it's Collage, whether it's the local organizing groups, their counseling centers. Leslie, do you have the local?
The LGBT Community Center.
Oh, I'm sorry. The LGBT Community Center. Before you leave, please come over here and connect with this gentleman right here, because I think it's very important, especially if you're brave enough to get up and ask the question, that you leave here with the solution. So especially young people, if you know anybody that's in crisis right now, especially, or if you're just ready to step out and be a leader or an ally to your friends and family, please don't leave here today without us connecting you meaningfully. Thank you, sir. Meaningfully to make sure that you get the proper support and assistance that you need.
Mrs. Hicks, thank you first of all for coming to Cleveland. My name is Pastor Eppinger. I pastor Tabernacle Church in Garfield Heights. And I wanted to ask the question, when we think of the black church, or maybe the church in general as a whole, there's a lot of traditions that has been passed down through our heritage. I'm a Baptist because my mama was a Baptist. I'm a Methodist because my father was a Methodist. And then many of the items that we receive is from the pulpit: who to vote for, what good school to go to, and a lot of other things. What has been done by your coalition to educate not only just the black community, but the churches as a whole, that they might lose this phobia that they have? Because so many traditions we have bottled up inside of us, many of us are afraid to reach, and we're looking for a steering committee to give some kind of guidance. Because of the recent episodes and things that have happened across the country, it has brought awareness. But what is your coalition doing that's bringing awareness to the community as a whole, that we might be better educated and not just have one resource from the pulpit that gives direction for the people to get an understanding?
We have an extensive library. Thank you for your question. We have an extensive library, resource, videos, manuals. We will come. This is one of our target cities. We will come on the ground with our effort. We have a homophobia in the black church initiative. We have a full curriculum on how clergy can introduce the conversation, how lay leaders can introduce the conversation, how we actually have a local ministerial alliance here of key clergy that's worked with us in the past on this issue. Leslie Huff is one of our board members on the national board. She is definitely a local resource for you. But it's an extensive curriculum. It has to be a living room conversation. It's not a room this size. It starts with a table that you're sitting at of some courageous leaders that are ready to say enough is enough. And then to really have, I call it my multi-phase project. One is to have the initial conversation to deal with what the real challenges are. And when I hear tradition, especially in the black community, I always say, but we always seem to deviate tradition by necessity. To me, this is necessary. We used to send our teenage daughters away to stay with auntie, and she was knocked up, and now, okay? Now, single mothers, because we now outpopulate our community, now we're the golden angels, and we should be. So I equate my LGBT initiatives with the single black mother. And where we place her now in the church, in the front row, and the whole community takes care of her and her children, then we need the whole community to take care of my babies, my LGBT babies, and some of the grown babies that have been tormented all their life, that can use your mental health services. Because we've built a subculture, and we need to take responsibility for that. And all roads to the subculture does not lead to HIV/AIDS. I'm not afraid to say that. It does not lead to that. What it leads to, however, is an unhealthy human sexuality trend in our communities, because while people like to pigeonhole the black community for HIV, I have no problems calling us on the carpet to say the highest teenage STD rate is amongst black teenage girls, and they didn't get them from lesbians. Okay, let's own our realities. So we have our work cut out to do, and I will absolutely be a resource to you in addition to my board member.
Stand up. I was wondering, are there any African American parents who are willing and able to come out and our local PFLAG is very active, but we never can get any African American, and I can appreciate that. I really think to start with, they need their own. We do have some African American young adults who come on once in a while, but if the parents would be, any parents would have the courage to come out and take on people. I don't put up with anybody who wants to mess with my kids, frankly. Okay?
We're going to get something going in Cleveland. We're going to connect his church and his desire and find a few of those fearless parents who've already been dealing with it but didn't have a place to do it. We're going to develop this prong here, and then we're going to build a bridge, because I'm certain this community has some parents who have embraced their LGBT child and either don't know you exist or don't know the road to get there to work together, and I'm certain they would love the support. So we're going to make this, Leslie's taking her list down right here. Please make sure all these courageous and initiators in the room that, I'm here till tomorrow. So I'm here to work in addition to this fabulous invitation that I've received.
Hello, my name is Vivian Hill, and first of all, I want to say I really admire you for doing this. The letter seemed like it was from my life, and I'm really kind of surprised that everybody's living my life, in other words. I'm a single parent. I had 3 sons. I have 13 grandchildren and a great-grandson. And I have tried to bring Cleveland together, like the East meets West, and I go to the center and I do all of that. I still haven't gotten a connection to really do what maybe I'm here to do.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
Do we have a parent in the room here?
I'm a parent.
Do we have a parent with LGBT children?
Yes.
Okay, ma'am, you just got one recruit. I told you I'm here to work. I'm here to work. If I got to come from D.C. to connect the city together, that's what I'm here to do. Okay, I want to see you two talking before I leave now. Okay. And yes, I hear you, and we're going to focus and lend that support that's needed. And you're a leader. Thank you for standing up and sharing your story.